Welcome back to AnTick Machine. On this channel, we revisit the machines and methods that once built our world, from old sawmills to heavy industry. Tonight, we're stepping into the timber trade as it looked nearly 80 years ago, when lumber was shaped mostly by muscle, simple iron saws, and the steady hands of a mill crew. In this film, we'll follow a log from raw tree to finished board inside a vintage sawmill, and hear how the old process still quietly lives on. In every old-style sawmill, the day never begins at the log deck. It begins right here, in the sharpening room. Before a single board can be cut, the saw blade has to be brought back to life. Machines from the 1940s and 50s didn't forgive mistakes, and a dull tooth could throw the whole cut off by inches. That's why men like this spent years mastering the art of sharpening. What you're seeing is a vintage automatic grinder. It slowly travels along the blade, shaping each tooth one by one. The stone wheel restores the point, cleans the edge, and makes sure every tooth matches the next. Same angle, same height, same bite. This quiet step may look small, but in the old days, a perfectly sharpened blade was the difference between a smooth board and a ruined log. Once the blade is ready, the next task is bringing the log into position. In the old mills, this job wasn't done by hydraulics or computers. It was done by muscle, simple carts, and a good sense of balance. The workers roll each log onto a steel carriage, guiding it with cant hooks and hand levers. Every movement has to be slow and steady. One slip here, and a 1,000-pound log can turn dangerous in an instant. At the same time, the sawyer adjusts the great sash saw. He sets the spacing bars, aligns the guides, and makes sure the freshly sharpened blades sit exactly where they need to be. Machines like these relied on precision, but that precision only came from the hands of the men who knew them. And as the carriage slides forward, the log is now ready to meet the teeth of a machine that's been working for more than half a century. In a mill like this, starting the machine is a ritual in itself. Nothing here fires up with a single switch. It takes patience and a bit of respect for the iron giant about to wake up. The sawyer presses the old control buttons, sending power to the transmission. Then, with a firm pull of the lever, the belts begin to tighten and the drive wheels start turning. Slowly at first, then faster, until the whole frame comes alive. These cast iron pulleys have been spinning like this since the 1940s. They transfer every ounce of energy to the massive flywheel below, the heart of the sash saw. As it gains speed, the entire mill begins to tremble, the floorboards shake, and the rhythm of the machine settles into its familiar up and down motion. With the machine running at full rhythm, the log is finally pushed into the saw. This is the moment every old mill was built for. The feed rollers take hold first, gripping the surface of the log and pulling it forward with a slow, steady force. Their job is simple, but critical. Keep the wood moving at just the right pace, so the saw can do its work cleanly. As the log enters the frame, dozens of straight, razor-sharp blades begin slicing into it at the same time. Unlike a modern bandsaw that cuts one board per pass, this sash saw can cut an entire set of boards in a single stroke, up, down, up again, turning a round log into perfect, even planks with surprising speed. Sawdust fills the air, the rollers vibrate, and the whole mill echoes with the deep, rhythmic thump that woodmen knew by heart. Every inch forward means another board formed from the heart of the tree. By the time the log reaches the other side, decades of growth have been transformed into lumber, ready for building homes, barns, and everything a small town once needed. Once the log has been sliced into boards, the real finishing work begins. Fresh-cut lumber is strong, but its surface is rough, full of saw marks, and still carries the texture of the forest. To turn it into something usable, the boards must go through one more classic step: planing. The workers lift each plank by hand, just the way it was done generations ago, and feed it into an old cast-iron planer. This machine shaves the wood with a precision steel cutter, taking off just enough material to reveal the smooth, bright grain beneath. As the board passes through, you can hear the steady hum of the cutter head and see thin curls of wood peeling away like ribbons. What comes out the other side is clean, flat, and ready for building. Piece by piece, the rough lumber from the sash saw becomes real carpentry material, the kind that once built barns, cabins, and the simple homes of rural America. And that's how lumber was made in the old days. One log, one careful step, and a whole lot of skill. Before automation and high-speed saws, mills like this relied on patience, craftsmanship, and the steady rhythm of machines built to last a lifetime. Watching these old methods reminds us how much hard work went into building the towns, barns, and homes that shaped our history. If you enjoy exploring the forgotten tools and traditions that once powered the world, feel free to subscribe to AnTick Machine. Your support helps keep these stories alive. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.